corner where the treats at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you landed here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We got to.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys and the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfare.
Chief Concerns is presented by BetOnline and Olipop. Marcus Dash here from Chief Concerns, and ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the year. It's football season, and you know what that means? It means it's time to get in on BetOnline. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during the games. Think you know your stuff? Get in on our $200,000 mega contest and pick 5 games against the spread every week for your chance at weekly prizes and a share of $200,000. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our 150 slot games. Head to the website today and get in on the action. Bet online. The game starts here. Come on, baby. Go. Yes! That's a first down. It's a first down. It's a first down. This football season, I'll be putting down normal sodas like Coca-Cola for Olipop. Olipop offers a healthier alternative with its low sugar content and natural ingredients. Olipop is more than just a drink. It's a wellness companion that supports your digestive health. Packed with prebiotics, this fizzy elixir helps promote good bacteria in your gut, leading to improved digestion and overall well-being. So go ahead, click the link in the description and use promo code SODALOVE and get your can of Olipop so you can enjoy the game guilt-free. Go Chiefs. Use the promo code SODALOVE for 15% off now. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Chief Concerns. This is your Monday morning tight end on your Monday evening. And ladies and gentlemen, you guys have been asking for Coach JD or Professor JD. Well, guess what? He's back and he's ready to give out these grades from this week 1 game last week. But how is everyone doing tonight, JD? How are you doing, brother?
What's going down, Marcus? What is going down? It was a busy weekend. It was good to watch all the other teams play, see what everybody else's woes may be, things that they had to go through, what they had to learn. It's the first week of football in the NFL, okay? And so there's going to be some shakers and some movers, but I enjoyed every moment of it. Every single game I had a chance to get my eyes on, I was checking it out. I was looking at the schemes, I was looking what guys are doing, trying to check my fantasy. And so tonight we'll be finishing up on my fantasy football. I got a couple of guys in my fantasy. I got Christian McCaffrey playing.
Nice.
He's one of my guys, my starting back. My defense is the Jets.
Whoa. Did you not see what happened? CMC's not playing.
He's not playing tonight?
You didn't know?
Oh.
He was a late scratch by like 30 minutes ago.
You know what? I kind of figured it. I kind of figured that. But I'm so far ahead right now that I think I'm good. So that's the thing about it. I'm blowing it out of the water. And I took it in account if he didn't play because I knew it was going to be a game time decision, to go ahead and try and throw him in. You know who my backup back was going to be because I had my backs and all the flex and stuff like that too. I had 3 backs starting. But I had Zamir White as his backup, and I'm glad at least, you know what I'm saying, Zamir didn't do anything. So not a big deal. I think he only had 4 points.
Yeah,
but other than that,
he was out-snapped by Madison, like 60 to 40% went to Madison.
Yeah. Madison looked good too, man. You see that little leap he did? Woo! So
the games yesterday were all pretty good. I will say they did kind of a crappy job with the 4 o'clock slate. The 4 o'clock games were kind of snooze fest. It was pretty rough, the 4 o'clock games. They didn't do a good job like putting like a good game in that slate.
Trying to think who's the ones that was playing at 4 o'clock.
Buccaneers, Commanders, Chargers, Raiders, Seattle and Denver, and Cowboys and Browns. All those games are blowouts. The Seattle game, but that was a tough watch.
Yeah. So I agree with you. I think I got up, a few times during that time to kind of do something else, catch up, and got me a little nap in between my thing. Matter of
Me
fact,
too. Me too.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. So, but other than that, man, talking about the Chiefs, baby, talking about the Chiefs starting our first win of the season for these guys. Look, we're gonna be a problem. We're gonna be a problem all over the NFL. So my thing is, this is something that we know is going to be happening all year, and you can see the dedication from these guys about trying to make this three-peat reality. And so that's what we got to do. First off, Mark, let me say hi to everybody that's in the chat. Don't know who's on here, but we're going to see Andre. I see Randy Conley, Wendy, Cordell Robinson. Welcome you all. Good to see you all. We're going to be talking about some good Chiefs football and some other things I think we're going to talk about as well. Maria, see Charles Driver, great to see you. Lacey Snake, let me see who else. Jeremiah de los Muertos, Zulu, Haramba Biff, Martin Moore. Good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. I'm trying to think who else did we miss, at least on here through the chat that I'm seeing. But Kathy Welch, sweetie, how you doing? So good to see everybody. About time. Wonderful about time. Good to see you too. Out here. Sandman, Witchy Hall. We see Maria. I think that's about it. I think that's about Lewis Kirkberth. What's up, Lewis? All right. So other than that, the HVHY, he said what it meant before. I forgot what it was.
Yeah, I forgot to. I was trying to remember. I forgot.
No, but good to see you. Good to see you. So remember that. Cindy Jennings. Hey, good to see. Finally made it for a live. Cindy, you got to talk to us. You got to talk to us. We've been talking out here. It's a family affair. Come out here and have a good conversation. So here we go. Here we go.
JD, I know we're going to get into the Chiefs tonight, but everyone who's been watching the show for a long time knows that I have an affinity for a player in the league who just so happened to dominate yesterday. We talked about the game for a second. I was going to let you scoop by that, JD. Baker Mayfield, 290-something yards passing and 4 touchdowns. Let's give the man his props.
Yeah. Hey. No. Hey, you know what? Hey, Baker, first game, hey, good to see it. Good to see it. I actually so I have Jordan Love.
Oh,
One of my fantasies. My backup quarterback is Trevor Lawrence. So I was thinking about Jordan's going to be out 3 to 6 weeks. Fantasy talk right now. Fantasy talk. Do I pick up a Baker Mayfield? Do I bring him in just to sit him on the bench? I think I put Trevor Lawrence out there as a starter, but Baker's too shaky for me, baby. He is just a little rocky on how he does. So I don't know. I don't know if but good for him. Good for him and good for you. When I seen that, I said, "Oh, Marcus is he's on cloud 9 today. He's on cloud 9." So, Kevin Blake watching it live. Good to see you, Kevin. Good to see you. So I'm the Brown. Good to see you here too. Sleepy Face is getting high value, high yield. That's HVHY. High value, high yield. Good to see you. HD Chiefs fan. You also. So we're gonna get on it, man. We're gonna get on it. So
JD, obviously, before we get to Chiefs talk,
yeah,
it's kind of there's a round of news that kind of dropped yesterday before the 1:00 games, and then today they released body cam footage of the Tyreek Hill incident. Obviously, Tyreek Hill used to play for Chiefs, longtime Chief, will probably be in the Chiefs Ring of Honor when he retires years from now. But it made waves. Tyreek Hill was handcuffed by the Miami PD, Miami-Dade Police Department. Mm-hmm. What do you make of everything that's been going on? Obviously, a lot of stuff online about it, especially with the new dash cam footage that came out. But what do you make of what happened yesterday, JD?
We're gonna be real quick with this, okay? When I watched the initial video, it looked like overzealous cops, a certain area of authority upon Tyreek Hill, and putting him on the ground on the pavement. And then when he was on the backside over on the sidewalk, looked like the cop came over and kicked his legs down and get down again. And so I, after looking at the body cam today, man, I decided, yeah, that's exactly what it was. That's exactly what I thought it was to begin with. Look, I said this. I said this on Twitter, and I meant it. As soon as I seen this, I said, you know what? The cops knew who it was. They knew who it was. That's the sad part. You know it's Tyreek Hill, and barring that he doesn't do anything threatening to their life, spit on them, hit them, or whatnot, there was no reason for them to handle him the way that they did. And it could have been anybody. I don't care who it is. It could be Tyreek Hill, Tom Brady, because I use the example of Tom Brady. It could be Mike McDaniels. I don't care who it is. Nobody deserves that type of treatment for making the cops feel bad, hurting their feelings, because he's asserting his First Amendment right. Nobody. I don't care. And we're going to address the problem and the issue. That's what I wanted to address, right? You can get into the whole talk and the conversation and policing and whatnot in this country. And I'm going to say this, okay? Let me preface this by saying, all right, I have family members who are cops. 2 first cousins who's been on the force for 25 years or better, okay? One of my best friends is a state trooper, okay? So when we talking about these things, I actually had more than that, guys I played with in college who are great friends of mine today, state trooper and cops. So this ain't something to jump on cops. This is not what this is. It's not to say something disparaging about cops. So we're talking about the situation, these guys in particular. Okay, because I respect the cops and what they do. I think they need the resources to take care of the police like they should. They have a hard job. They understand that. Well, I've had several conversations with my family and my friends about the job that they do. We talked about several scenarios. The other day, I just seen a guy in Crumble Cookie, and I shook his hand. He was a guy, just new recruit from state troopers here in Kentucky. And I just told him with another one of my best friends, his daughter, she's going out for a state trooper too. And I told her, look out for her. And I shook his hand. I said, man, you be safe out there, the things that you do. He said, man, I appreciate that. And I do. I appreciate every part of it. What I don't like is when I see somebody who is overzealous and decided we're going to teach you a lesson. And then having other people coming to maybe the bad behavior of cops and saying, well, shoot, well, you know, when it comes out, well, Tyreek Hill, this is it's a trend. You know, well, what do I say is if it's Tyreek doing the thing? Look, Tyreek could have been arrested 10 times before then. It's based off the behavior of what happens at that exact moment. Like I can't continue to say, well, shoot, well, this is a trend or something like that happened to a guy 5 years away or something like that, and now he deserves it. That to me, that's ridiculous to even make a statement like that. Because it's sitting there saying that when you allow everybody, it doesn't matter who it is, okay? That now, because of this happens, they deserve it also because they have a checkered past or they've been arrested. No, it doesn't. And nobody deserves to be treated that way. I don't care who it is. We've seen cops do it to other cops. When I'm sitting there talking to my friends and my family about this, they don't support that. And nobody should either. So it ain't about the police in this. We talking about this incident in itself, okay? And it was wrong. And I'm not changing my mind on that whatsoever. I applaud the great cops out here who's doing a hell of a job. I applaud them for it. Yeah, I commend them for it. They need that. They need that support from us. But something like this, not calling that bad behavior, we should be able to do, and we shouldn't back up from it, okay? Not going to do that. Not going to do it. So that's how I feel about it. And that's where I'm staying with it. And I'm looking. It's not just me. I'm talking to my friends, white, black, and all those different guys. They're saying the same thing. They're saying the same thing. So if you're given credence in the past on bad behavior, right? And Tyreek, he's saying whatever you want to say. Well, we're not held to the same standard cops are. They take an oath. Okay, they are public servants. They work for us. They work for the public. Okay, that's what they do, and it takes great restraint. It takes honor and integrity for those guys to work the jobs that they're working. So we understand that. We need to understand the scope of what those things are. It's not saying that you can't speak to a cop a particular thing to do. That's what that is. It's not saying, if you threaten somebody, that's a whole different thing. There were no threats made by him. It wasn't. He asked a question. So he didn't like how he was being talked to. He didn't like how his story was being challenged. So guess what? We're going to teach you a lesson. And that's exactly how it felt. That's exactly how it looked. That's why when you looked at it, somebody got on leave. But the part of the leave was just to do an investigation. And we seen that it was overzealous. So that's where I am with it. I didn't want to go into it too much about this, but there is a point of people usurping their authority even more than what it is. Okay. It's happened to me before. Okay. I'm just saying. So
you've talked about before with you've had certain things where you've had kind of run-ins where you're driving and then what was that story where you got pulled over and someone said you got arrested for something even though you've had run-ins with that stuff you've talked about before on the show.
Yeah. I've been pulled over by a cop several times. There's times I've been talked to condescending. There's times I've been talked to debate me in a lot of different ways. There's conversations that was going on that wasn't right. Okay. Then I had guys, the majority of the time it's been, hey, guess what? So it was a wonderful conversation. How you doing today? How you doing? Wonderful. Yeah, you got my information, likes, all those different things. And I can ask the question, well, why did you stop me? Right? You can be very particular. Hey, I stopped you for this reason. I can stop you with that. Okay, fine. Even if it gets escalated, there's something called de-escalation, which should have been used at the time, but it wasn't. It's like, oh, we're going to ramp this up. Okay, we're going to see who gets crazier from this point. So, see, my wife is sitting there talking. She said, I got sent to jail over tinted windows. She got pulled over in my car for tinted windows. Okay, this happened in Kansas City. And I had to make a complaint through the NFL, our guy that does it, Les Pico. And he said, Jason, it's not right. This person is targeting you. They've done it several times and they got corrected. There's several things I could talk about, Marcus, but my thing is we just talking about a particular incident. Okay. I want to go there with it. Okay. Correcting of a behavior is what that is. This particular incident dealing with him. So, people have their own mind about it. This is mine. This is my opinion about it, man. So it happens. And Les Pico's had conversations with us before, like Calais Campbell being arrested. Les Pico, and I hope Les don't mind me using his name, but Les said he had a conversation with all of us saying, you got to realize if you're a big guy, the cops, it could be seen as intimidating to people. So you got to watch what you do, what you say, and how you act. And if the fact that you had to have that conversation just because you are a big guy, it's like, wow, I got you. Okay. Well, those are conversations that has to be said, need to be talked about. But man, like I said, bad situation all around. So I hope, when people see this, man, this is about people getting better. This is all about people getting better. So even if it's on Tyreek getting better, speaking to the cops in a particular way, whatever that is, but we understand that there's a higher standard set by law enforcement. Okay, so.
Yeah, and hopefully, something good comes out of this.
Yeah.
I will say I thought it was funny to make light out of a situation that happened, but when Tyreek Hill scored that 80-yard touchdown yesterday, Waddle and him did the handcuff celebration.
Funny. It was funny.
That was funny, but
yeah,
it was funny to make a light out of a situation that had happened. But hopefully, things get figured out. Hopefully, something good can come out of it in the end. And also, too, the fact that if there wasn't cameras there, if we didn't have flip phones and social media as we do now, I mean, what would have happened? And I think the one thing that people say is, what if that guy wasn't an NFL player? What if it was a normal person? What's happened to that person? That person going to jail for doing that? I mean, for doing nothing.
So I'm saying, as a normal I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Tyreek, anybody else. Nobody should get pulled out violently like that. For saying, why did you knock on my windows and rolling up and coming down, especially you know who the person is. Like I said, the bar didn't with no threat, anything like that. It was like, no, you know what? This is what's going to happen. So, unreal.
Well, it's good that nothing. Tyreek was able to play in his game yesterday. All those guys, Calais Campbell and Jonathan Smith, were all able to play in their game, and nothing happened beyond that. So,
yeah. So, and then, like I said, right. No, I just, like I said, and make no mistake about it, I support cops. I'm for all good cops, all cops out there watching yourself. Want them all to come home safely. Okay, want everybody to do their job. Okay, and every cop that you see needs to be patted on the back. But sometimes when things happen, you know, you gotta be real. You gotta call things out as they should. So,
for sure, yeah, that's why we wanted to touch on it tonight.
Yeah.
So obviously, now we're in season. I see there's some questions that came through. I've highlighted those, so we'll get back to those questions at the end of the show after we go through our grades. So in season, Monday's show, we started last year. We got great reviews and ratings about JD giving grades, and everyone loves JD's coach spiels and his speak. So JD's gonna give his grades tonight on each position group. We go with the offense, going into the defense. But yeah, so JD, if you guys are familiar with our Monday shows during the season, JD gives his grades on each position group based on how they played last week. And JD is no easy grader. He's no easy grader, guys. He's a tough son of a gun when it comes to this stuff. So it should be a good one.
I think I'm fair, Marcus. I like to think I'm fair and balanced in what I do. You know, I when I look over the film, you know, I make sure that I try to look at it from clean slate. I don't know who this guy is, just based off his performance in itself is how I grade these guys. Okay, how I did as a coach, how I grade guys as a coach. And so Richard Schwartz said something actually, and I agree with him. He was talking about how, let me see if I can pull this thing up. So this is what Mitch Schwartz says. Okay. He says, you know, it's always funny that these people still follow you when they have their opinion of you. I was responding to someone who said he's absolutely balling. And I disagree with that assessment. I did then, and I still do. So he's talking about King Suamate, all right? And his assessment on King Suamate. And so he was saying, look, the way I grade may be different than what you grade, okay? Well, we look at our measurements is based off of our time in the NFL, okay? How our offensive line coach grades us, what they're looking at. Did you do the assignment? Not just was it okay. We're talking about your technique. How good did it look? Did you sink back far enough? Your feet? So he's looking at every junction point, every possible thing that when we look at grading, okay, we're going to grade like our coaches grade us. All right. So a standard has been set, how coaches look at what we do and how they talk to us in our meetings about what we could have did better, what we did great, what we didn't do so great. And so you'll get the real grades from the O-line coach. Now you can dispute it. We dispute all the time. Like, come on, coach. You know, I got in front of him. Hey, man, you got to do a much better job. You didn't help out like you should have. You should have been in the hip of the guard more than you did. Or you should have waited going up to the second level to the linebacker. Or you should have peeled back and turned. And so all of that comes into account, okay? All that comes into account when you make those grades. I do the same thing just for the entire team and the scope of it. So there might be some different grades people give, and everybody has their own scale about things. They do. So, but I do know how Mitch I know how he's going to grade them, just like I'm going to grade them. So I want to be fair. So that's what we're going to do. So I think it was a good point by Mitch just to say that. All right. But let's go ahead and go, Marcus. So who do you have me grading first? I think you had a list of guys you have me grading first. So I'll go with your list, who you want me to hear from first. Then we'll go from there.
The only reason why I did that was because when I was making the slide deck, I wanted to make sure I had it. I have it from QB to QB. We'll get into it. Quarterbacks first, though. Mahomes is number one. So
all righty. Okay.
We'll get into that right away. All right.
QB grade. Okay. So to me, Patrick Mahomes has shown without a doubt that he's dedicated to winning the entire season and getting his 3-peat done. Nothing was more convincing to me than when Pacheco was going in for the touchdown and he decided to go into the scrunch and push on the pal when he didn't need to. And I guarantee he got to the sideline, they blasted him out forward, and people's like, he don't need to get in there. Pat's just sitting there saying, you know what? Hey, we're here to win this thing. If there's a chance and opportunity for my guy to get in, he's going to push him in. That just showed me that Pat is out there to do it for everybody. He's doing it for the guys. The guys deserve this. And so that's what he was pushing for. So Patrick Mahomes on that did a great job the entire game, getting the ball out of his hand, throwing the ball quick. I don't think he kept the ball in his hand a long time. Escape when he needed to escape, throwing the ball when he needed to throw the ball. The only downside was when he threw the interception. That was it. And it was like, one of those that I think he was trying to throw, but he kind of got caught up a little bit there, and then all of a sudden it sailed on him, right? Those are interceptions. But for our fearless leader, PM15, I gave a B+. That's why I gave Patrick Mahomes. So that's where I'm at with him and his grade. But I think he commanded everything he needed to. I said this was going to be a tone setter for the entire season for our guys, and they did that. At no point was I worried about our team. Like zero. At no point. Offense or defense. Wasn't worried at all. Those guys, without a doubt, knew they had to come in and take care of business. They didn't seem like they were unsure of themselves. They didn't seem like, here it goes again. There was none of that. Even when guys dropped the ball and people were like, here we go again, they didn't have midfield. You didn't see Pat drop his head in those things. You know what I mean? He was just like, shoot, we'll make the next play. We'll make the next play. And so that's what he got. B+ for me for Patrick Mahomes, quarterbacks. All right.
B+. I agree. The interception was kind of icky. I will say, does he get some bonus points for that little catch that he had? I got 1 point in fantasy for that catch that he had where he got tipped.
Oh, did you? So yeah, man. So he's doing everything he needs to do, and I love when I guess he was talking to Chris Sims. Like, I've seen every defense that I'm ever going to see, and so they were talking about those things. Like he's now in the realm of understanding what teams are going to try to throw at him, and he's prepared for each and every one of them. So B+, Patrick Mahomes.
Do you think this is just it based on 1 week of play, but he didn't run the ball that much in that game? And I feel like last year we saw him run the ball more than we've ever seen before. Now, you think that was more of a symptom of having to do that last year, whereas this year he doesn't really have to do that? So, 1 game into it, but that was a good defense we just played. And he didn't run the ball nearly as much as he did in individual games last year. He was running a lot, and he didn't run that ball. Do you think his running last year was more because he had to, and then Monday we kind of saw that he doesn't really need to do it and put himself at risk out there?
Absolutely. And so, like last year, if guys weren't getting open, or maybe he didn't trust guys to do the right thing, and maybe, it could have been the wrong route, whatever it may be. Pat knew instead of putting it in everybody else's hands, let me go ahead and take care of it. And so I knew he picked and choose when he was going to take off running. For him, this year, he knows he can save his legs. One thing I will say is when he does run, he's going to have to protect himself on that sideline even more. Because we've seen the one, right, where Raekwon comes and hits him out of bounds, which was a late hit. It was a late hit. No doubt about it. I don't care if he flopped or not. You had no business putting your hands on Patrick Mahomes going out of bounds. And I'm glad, the new tight end, pushed him back. Oh, I'm looking for him. Okay. You think the tight end, Harton or whatever, he ain't going to be worried about that. Come look for me. You know where to find me. That's how the tight end, that's what we do. You know where to find us. We're going to be right on that end. When you see him come in the game, be ready because he's ready for you. So I think that, to me, Raekwon, he should have known to pull up. Then the other one, he was on the sideline. The guy went down for his knees. And I'm like, Pat, man, like, you got to. Please. That was a dirty hit. They throw the flag. The thing is, you got to protect yourself on the sideline. Either get violent or you make sure you're out of bounds for sure. Okay? And putting your hands down and protecting yourself. So we know these things are going to happen. You got to watch himself, okay? Because we don't need no joker, no Yoku out there doing some crazy stuff like that on him, trying to get a name for themselves.
Yeah, and it happened twice during that game. There was that one where they dove at his legs when he was going to the sideline, and the Roquan one. I was surprised they didn't call it on the. I was surprised they didn't call it in the second one because they missed it. They missed it so blatantly in the first one. I thought they were going to call it in the second one. They didn't. But Hendershot, about time says it here. Hendershot on the sideline getting physical. And Hendershot, the new tight end, he actually changed his Twitter picture to
the picture of the tight. Yeah. Like, so you know who it is. So you know who I am. I don't know who an 880 is. You do now. So just be ready. He gonna be ready for you. So if we ever see y'all again, shoot. So we'll leave it at that.
We'll see.
You'll see.
All right. All right. So our next one, we got running back grade. Pop.
Woo. Okay. So Pacheco came in and did a tremendous job. We've seen how he got lighter. Still running hard, still finding the hole, still being patient. Just watching him grow from year to year to where he is right now, man, is a beautiful thing. It's an absolute beautiful thing. But he came in, gave tough yards. Also, too, he had the one drop, little pepper on it from Pat. If he catches that ball, out the gate. But he ran a great route. Just didn't quite bring it in, but he'll bring those in. I said he'll catch it 9 out of 10 times. 9 out of 10, he'll catch those. No question about Pop whatsoever and what he was doing. So, also, too, he's got to protect himself as well. You got to make sure he's protecting himself as well because they're going to be trying to lay the wood on it. Now, okay, Pop did an amazing job. So all of a sudden, when he gets, little kind of banged up, didn't quite know where he was, here comes Sanjay P. Ryan. Oh, P. Ryan comes in, right? Sanjay P. Ryan. The reason we brought Sanjay P. Ryan is because he can give you the breaks that you need. He can run the tough yards if you need him to run. He did the one out the backfield, almost catch him one hand, just a little bit outside of him, almost pulls it in. He'll catch it 9 out of 10 times, okay? No question about it. But it was good just to see him in that position to make a play. He probably could have been running to this day, Marcus hitting his head on the goalpost. And then we give it to our guy, Carson Steele. Carson Steele catches one in the return game. Give him one out there on the field. A little different, man, when you got the number ones against you all the time. A little different. But he's going to be fine. So this running back room, man, I gave these guys a B. I gave them a B, okay? I think assignment wells, they did well. The catches and stuff like that, I'll chalk up to first game jitters. But other than that, I think they did an amazing job with the guys, trying to get some chips as well from it. But as far as like their contribution to the game, I gave them a B.
Interesting. What would they've had to done in that game to kind of get higher than that? Because as a room, I mean, like they look pretty solid for a first game outing. I mean,
hey man, the ball hit your hand, you got to catch it.
Yeah,
that's how it works. And so if you got to be tight. I'm looking. This is what I'm talking about. As a coach, this is how we grade it. That's how we grade it. Yeah, it could have been A. If you do, your job right here, you go hit your head on the goalpost. Damn, you got to ding you up because you didn't. Okay, those are the ones that you got to get. Those are the ones you got to get. So that's what I got for the backs.
The P. Ryan drop, I know as a football player and being around coaches all the time, you get a hand on the ball, it's a drop. Even if you try to if the ball's uncatchable, you still get a hand on it. They say you got to catch that. Is that drop on P. Ryan or is that on Mahomes kind of putting it out there a little bit too far?
No, that's on P. Ryan.
Really?
Yeah. P. Ryan should have had that. He probably could have put 2 hands out to get it, from my estimation. But still, Pat leading him, because Pat did a good job leading him, but a masterful job leading him to keep running. Okay. And sometimes that's when they're going to learn each other. Pat's got to still learn P. Ryan a little bit. How it opens up to get down, to reach the ball and just gauge him somewhat. So that'll happen. But But we know as players, our hands hit the ball, we got to catch it. Yep, if a ball hits your hands, you should catch it. It's the barbershop, no doubt about it. Pure and simple. Ain't no ambiguity with that, Marcus. That's how it is. That's how we held on to it. Okay?
Oh, I know it. There was times where I would dive for balls. The ball was so far ahead of me, JD. I was still just trying to dive to get the ball. I would get like a couple fingers on the ball. Like, you got to catch that, Dash. It's like, it was a terrible ball. I forget I had to lay out for it. It was still ahead of me.
Oh, yeah. They talking about my shirt right here. So this is like a fishing shirt is what actually it is. So y'all like it? It's colorful.
Yeah,
I love it.
Newt keeps asking about it.
Yeah.
So there you have it, Newt. You've been asking all about it all night. That's what's JD's shirt. All right. So next up, we got our wide receiver. So I'm repping our guy Rice baby. Rice baby.
Boy. Okay. So during the preseason, what we're able to see with Rashid Rice and Patrick Mahomes is they on the same wavelength. With these slant routes in the middle, we've seen him run, kind of a whip route in and out, a shake route to get open. They're going to be dangerous. I called Rashid Rice the slot assassin, and he is right now. I don't think the way he's able to catch the football and still go from the slant and the slot position, man, it's impressive to me. It's impressive. Because you usually catch a guy, on the slot, he'll catch and he's like looking to get hit. That's what he's almost looking for, right? And he catches it in traffic that he's catching and he's gone. Like, he's not even thinking about the hits or anybody else being around him. He's catching and he's getting yak. And I'm just like, this dude, he's got it under control, man. He looks great. He looks great doing it. So Rashid Rice, man, was just phenomenal. I don't know what else to say about it, man. He did a great game. If this is an indication how it's going to be for the rest of the season, I said this. Rashid Rice is Patrick Mahomes' number one wide receiver. Okay. And it could be debated who is number two is going to be after watching this game. Now, oh my goodness, here we come in, the rookie himself from Texas. All right, the guy that we call the X-Man, the X-Caliber, the X, whatever we want to call him, X something, okay? And hey, look, we're trying to figure out a good name for Xavier Worthy, okay? Mr. We're not worthy to watch his type of talent come out on the TV every single week, all right? I thought it'd take some time, Marcus, for them two to get these things down. We gave him a reverse, and he was silky smooth with that little, thin frame running in and out of traffic. Looked great. This dude has 2 touchdowns, catches one on the go route. I don't know what they were thinking. It looked like it. It might have been cloud coverage. Couldn't tell that, but he didn't have help over the top. Pat seen it immediately. Touchdown, strike up the band. That's what it was. And so both of those guys are phenomenal. They did a great job. Now X got it. You're gonna have to block a little bit more. I see it a couple of times now. You get your little narrow tail out there blocking some now. All right. I know you don't want to be a part of it, but you're going to, get yourself a little bit tougher. Pick and choose your battles. Okay, pick and choose your battles. So for me, X did a tremendous job. He did a tremendous job. And then we start talking about the other wide receivers that came in. Now Justin Watson catches him one, right? Good ball. Juju comes in, runs some good plays, doesn't catch one down there near the goal line. Almost had it. Turns his hands. He's catching that. Trying to get him back in the whole mix of things. Seen, obviously, McCall returned some. I think Sky might have got a couple of things in there. But guys are going to be the way it's going to look toward the end of the day, he's going to pepper the ball around everywhere. He's going to pepper it around everywhere, Marcus. So my thing is for the wide receivers, and, we look at maybe, like the drop of Juju. I'm going to give these guys an A from the group. First A of the season, okay? is what I'm calling it. All right. I just could not. I can't take away from the performance of Worthy and Rice and what they're able to do the entire game and get those guys lower than that. I think their performance outshined everything else. The bad things the baby wide receivers didn't do. So that's what I was looking at. Game A.
And I feel like the juxtaposition to week 1 last year at this time, where we come off a game that had a million drops in that game, we were just really concerned about our wide receiver room. We're trying to tell everybody, be calm. It'll get corrected. Drops can be an issue. And it kind of became a whole theme for us throughout the whole season. And seeing that in that game that we only had, one drop from our wide receiver room, pretty good.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Daggone good. Yeah, damn good. So,
and that's without our number 1 wide receiver acquisition this offseason. So
absolutely,
he could be coming back this week. So.
Yeah, look, I felt so bad for 40. I felt so bad for him because everybody was using him like a toilet. They were taking turns on this joker, boy. They were just flushing on this dude. He was running around. I told you the Harrison. He looked like Marvin. What's the name? Rodney Harrison out there running his age. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Ravens fans are pretty pissed off about that guy's play. I was looking at a lot of comments saying that guy pretty much won us the game.
Boy, I hate to be in a meeting room with him right now because everybody knows. Everybody just sitting back, just watching. And I tell you, his coach is burning him up right now. Burning him. You want your job? Is this important to you? The way you look right now at this moment, you trying to be out of here. You trying to get yourself cut. That's what you trying to do, huh? You don't like football enough. Okay? Matter of fact, we just going to give you what you want. We're going to let you go. How about that? Okay? I could just imagine what the conversation is. But let's move on. What we got next? Who we got next?
Oh, we're going to the room, the most important room. The tight end room, baby.
Tight end room. Boy, oh, man, I'm so happy to see it. Here we go. Tight ends, the guys that do it all. The guys that protect Patrick Mahomes. You get pulled out of bounds. We got one tight end out there too. Mr. Do-It-All, master of many things, okay? Boyfriends of superstars, signing big deals and contracts. Tight ends are doing it all. And so this performance, man, from Travis Kelce coming out here, and everybody was talking, well, Travis looked like he lost a step, or, you said, hey, looked like he was getting switched in and out. The thing is, Travis Kelce was going to be double teamed. One thing, they knew they was going to try to bracket him, okay? That's one thing they wanted to do. And so when he was coming off, they knew one guy that could not beat us was Travis Kelce. They weren't going to let that happen. He beat us last game. When it came down to it, they knew who he was going to go to. And so Travis Kelce has help now. He has help. The job he did in blocking was incredible. Obviously, he had the holding call, and I said he was hugging the defensive end like he holds Taylor, I'm sure at the fire. Okay, when he found a nice fire and stuff like that, I'm sure that's how he hugs her. But other than that, the way he was able to come inside, block, the way I was able to see Noah Gray, the new $1 million man, come back, multi-million-dollar man, come in and make some catches, make some plays. To me, this is how this offense is going to look. And anytime that you could give a guy like who's paid his dues, like Patrick Mahomes, some rest, that is a beautiful thing. Where you don't have to force the ball to him. You got other people around that now he's just not going to be the only one to kill you. It's a beautiful thing. So my thing is these guys came out. They played a great game. I love that he caught Raekwon Smith over the side and gave him a little bit. Just a little bit and going into the end zone. He deserved that. I'm like, I'm good. I'm glad we seen that a little bit because he needed to get a little bit of that. So Travis doesn't have to have 8 catches for 90-something yards or 100-something yards. He didn't have to do that. Not for me. When I watched his blocking, him getting out there, getting other guys open, this is what it's all about. He played his part. He played it perfectly. He had the one drop over the middle, right? Kind of short-armed it. Don't quite know what went on there. Somebody said he hurt steps. I don't think that's what it was. I think he was still trying to figure out how to put his hands, catch the ball, and get up the field. But this man hadn't slowed down. I'm giving my tight ends from what they've done, from catching the blocking. I gave these guys a B+.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the video, the different views throughout the game, Kelsey was blocking his ass off. Yeah, and we talked about it after the game, but it does look like there might be somewhat of a load management, a little Kawhi Leonard treatment for Kelsey throughout the season. So we have him ready to rock in the playoffs. And hey, I mean, they obviously trust Noah Gray, hence that contract he got last week. So they're okay with having to load manage with the tight end room that he has around him. So I'm okay with it. But we win. Yeah. Well, we win if Kelsey stays healthy. So as long as Kelsey can stay healthy and we have the guys around him, we'll be all right.
Absolutely. No question about it. So.
All right. Next up, we're going to the O-line, JD.
O-line. Ooh, O-lineman. O-lineman. The big boys up front came to play some ball. And they knew they had a good defense they had to go against. Okay? They had a really good defense. Look, the Ravens are not slouch. We understand that. They got some beef up front. Namdi, what's it, Matabuku? How do you say it? Mataduke or something like that?
Matabike?
Matabike. Okay, Matabike. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, that's it. You know what I'm talking about, right? The D tackle.
Yeah, his new name is, he changed his first name to Namdi, or what would you say?
Namdi, yeah.
Namdi. And it used to be Justin, so he I think he changed his name to that.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
The Justin?
It was Justin last year, and then he's going by Namdi.
His roots name. Okay.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. No, good for him. That sucker came out the ball, man. He came out to play. And he was giving everybody on the interior everything that they wanted. Put it that way. So the guys up front had their hands full with him. Okay. And he was taking turns with Tooney, Creed, Trey. But he was doing his best to make a difference. And sometimes he did. Sometimes he was causing a little pressure. Sometimes he's coming off the ball, making some what's name it, some tackles. But our O-line, man, I think they did a great job. Like I said, I mean, when you're looking at the guys that you had to go against, Dafe, Owe, Jabo, all those guys. These are guys that are pass rushers, okay? They're pass rushers. We know that. Keen Sumate did a good job. He did a good job, okay? Wasn't great, but he did a good job. A decent job, okay? The leaving him on the island like they did, he got some help from Tooney sometimes. And so for him being his first outing, the first NFL football game, I'm going to give him an attaboy. Be a attaboy, okay? So he did a decent job. He'll get better. Now, there's going to be some things, had to coach him up on some of his feet, maybe some of his sets, getting down a little bit further, maybe not necessarily giving up the ground, extending their hands, make sure you don't get those extra hits on the quarterback. Those are things that could be eliminated, all right? But the good thing is putting him in now and getting him all the experience that he needs, he is going to get better. But he is, without a doubt, the tackle for our future, no question, okay? And he's earned his stripes for that, all right? He's going to have even a bigger deal to deal with next week, okay, against the Bengals. So, but he did a decent job. Juwan Taylor on the other side, decent job. He came out there to come and ball. Obviously, anytime you hear a penalty on him, you're like, oh, here we go again with the Juwan Taylor and his penalty and stuff, right? But I don't think it's going to be like last year. After we kept seeing all the calls against the offensive line for illegal formation and whatnot, okay? And so I'm glad they're being tight on it. They're letting everybody put the whole league on notice. We're calling this thing. We're going to call it. So if you want to sit back, so be it. those guys, those tackles better tell the guards, you better sit up a little bit more. Help us out. The thing was, and I think Mitch was talking about this. He went through a whole video of talking about how far back he is. And I'm just like, look, tight ends out there a little bit farther. We got to set on y'all. So y'all need to move up a little bit. Got to help everybody out. Got to help the wide receivers out. Wide receivers can't sit back there because then they off the line of scrimmage. Okay? So there's a lot there to it. Guys will be working on it. But that other than that, man, our O-line, I gave him a B. That's what I gave him. I gave these guys a B. Just a solid B, okay, for the work that they did.
Yeah, I agree. I will say the one thing I'll give an A+ to, and I've seen someone that commented in a chat here, Creed Humphrey, his snaps, A-okay, baby. Mwah. I didn't see much of him having to go down in the dirt to get the ball. They seemed they were right where they needed to be, which I've been dying for the last 2 years. Hopefully, it keeps up all season.
Right. I didn't see it either, Marcus. You're right. I didn't see it either.
I want to give a shout out to Holly. Thank you for the contribution to our channel. We love you, Holly. We love the contribution. Thank you. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Holly. Appreciate it so much. Appreciate it.
All right. So going to the defensive side of the ball.
Defensive side of the ball. Okay. So D-line. We start with the D-line. Woo-wee! Ha ha. So I broke it up. I did defensive end. I did defensive tackles. That's how I did it. Okay. And actually, I could combine their score to get something. All right. Let me look at some of my notes here. So, first couple of series, the pressure by the D-line looked masterful. These guys did a great job coming out. Chris Jones looked like Chris Jones, okay? And he was almost unstoppable. I love the matchup with him and Falale or whatever the guy's name. He didn't have a chance. He didn't have a chance at all. And so Chris was trying to pick and choose who he wanted to destroy on each and every play. And so he kept that up until he ran out of gas. Still trying to get into shape, man. Still trying to get into shape. Look, the theme about defense, some of the lulls in where guys weren't quite getting it correct or getting it right, it's because game shape from some of our starters. Chris Jones, okay, let me go through them. All right, so let me make this plain. Chris Jones, Nick Bolton, and Justin Reed, 3 guys, 3 starters, okay, who hadn't been out there practicing in training camp are still behind a little bit. All right? Stamina-wise, still behind a little bit. But the good thing is when you have guys that have been playing, okay, they're supposed to, give you a couple of, spells here and there, right? Come in and shouldn't be any drop-off, okay? For the most part, that was, I think guys did a decent job. But our pressure from the defensive end standpoint, I just still didn't see it.
Brandon Riddle Parks.
Hold on. I just didn't get to see it. Okay. And so there still needs to be more there. Still needs to be more. I think George was doing a decent job trying to get pressure. He was getting up the field. Okay. He was giving him spurts. And then it was the same thing, getting your hands on him and stop. I expected more. I thought George was going to have at least 2 sacks. I thought that. Okay. It was one time I thought he was going to get one, didn't quite get one. But, Lamar's, he's smooth, man. I mean, you're going against probably the most elusive quarterback in the NFL. So that's going to be a tall task. Definitely a tall task. But everybody else up front, Herring didn't quite see him doing much. Didn't really show up like I thought he would. Also, too, Dana, didn't really see too much out of him. They decided they was going to run that ball toward him every chance they got, putting their hands on him. He's undersized defensive end. And then Felix. Oh, man. It's need to see more out of him. So, for me, and I'm just going to be tough. It's my tough grading. I gave these guys a C+. Gave him a C+. I think they did a great job against Derrick Henry. Too much in the lanes and letting Lamar run. I gave my guys a C+.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think my big thing, and this is kind of why we're giving him a C+. You go to the end of that game, our guys are winded as heck, and there was a few times where Karlaftis was just standing there playing patty cake with the tackle, and I'm like, "What are you doing, dude? Like, you're not getting any pressure at all." And I get it, you're winded or whatnot, but that also contributes to the rotation of guys. The other guys, they're not doing much better than that, so we're sticking with Karlaftis out there, and he's exhausted as all be. And then Jones too. I mean, with Jones, I give a little bit more leniency to because he's getting held by 3 dudes every play. So like that takes a lot. That takes a toll on you.
It does. No, I mean, you've been used to being held. You know, you've been on the sideline the whole time. The only one holding you is the trainers. So, yeah, that's it.
But C+, I agree.
Yeah.
It'll be a huge difference maker whenever Amenahu comes back. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. But all in all, we stopped the run pretty well, and I was scared about the run going into the game from the running back's point of view. But Lamar is obviously a different beast, so we won't see another quarterback like that this year. So
no, I'm going through it. Definitely Tampa don't have one. Let me see who else we got.
I don't know. He showed some wheels yesterday.
You know I got to get on you. You know that. Well, hold on now. Shoot, got Texans. We got the Steelers. So
Fields. Yeah, Fields is one. Yeah,
you got some guys. Oh, then we got Buffalo. So Josh Allen take off on you too. We know that.
Yeah.
So there's a few guys. Bo Nix took off running a little bit. He did some running yesterday.
Yeah.
He's running for his life. He's going to take off. Shoot. So, but other than that, I think pretty much everybody's is going to be where they're going to be at, right?
Yeah.
Pocket passes and stuff. So
this was by far the toughest test of as
yeah.
far as quarterback play. Josh Allen will be the other one, but as far as being his speed at quarterback, I mean he'll run Josh Allen out the park. But as far as speed, that's the toughest test you're going to face all season. And I think the guys did pretty well. He did have 100+ yards rushing against us, but overall, I was scared about the ground attack between him and Henry, and they did a really good job containing Henry throughout that game.
Yeah, I think the way they utilized Henry, man, was kind of disappointing to him.
Me too.
But this is what, and you have people, you're not going to win it. I heard, Yahoo talking about Lamar and not going to win it. Having a dual threat quarterback is hard. It's hard to defend that. So when he won MVP for 2 years, 2 of them, he got him under the belt for a reason. So yeah. So let's go to our backers. Is that who's next?
I believe so. We got the linebackers next. Yep.
Yay! Linebacker grade. Yeah. Okay. So I went on Twitter to defend that guy right there on the screen, number 32, Nick Bolton. Okay. And my opinion, Nick Bolton is one of the best linebackers in the NFL right now for me because of what he does. And there was a reason the Chiefs took him where they took him. He was a leading tackler for the All-SEC when he was at Mizzou. And he came up here, did the exact same thing. Since he's been here, he's been the leading tackler the time when he wasn't hurt, but he did miss all the time. Like last year, he had missed 9 games. He misses 9 games, Marcus, and still 6 on tackling list. 9. Take that into account. He misses 9 games and still ended up at 6 on the leading tacklers on the team. I don't think people understand what this man does out there. The ones that talk about how bad he is on Bolton or why you like him and stuff like that. Look, we understand. Listen, he's not going to be the best as a coverage linebacker, but he is capable. That's the reason Spags keeps him in on some of those downs. You know why? Because he knows when Nick Bolton's in shape, which he's not in game shape now, he knows he can do those things. All right. Not only that, but he put people in position to be right. He's the one that calls out the defenses for everybody. Okay. A guy like that, you can't take out. There's times you can't compromise the defense by taking out your brain. Okay. Because he knows where to be. He knows where to put guys in position. He knows how to make sure everybody's in where they need to be. Okay. Now, one-on-one, sure, he's going to struggle. He's a little, small linebacker. Isaiah Likely is not a chopped liver tight end. We seen it last year when he came in. We seen it this game. He's a glorified wide receiver, okay, playing tight end. That's what he is. I like him. I like Likely. He's a hell of a player. He's a hell of a tight end. Hell of a tight end. He's going to give any linebacker fits this entire year. Put it that way, okay? So he's keeping that trend down from Mark Andrews to Isaiah Likely. He's going to ball out, man. He's a baller. So I don't care who you put on him. You could put Drew Tranquil on him. He's still going to ball out. He's going to catch the ball. You put safeties on him. He's still going to ball out. He's still getting open. So he just got that type of talent. He does. Now, what I wasn't going to do is sit back and watch all this slander of Nick Bolton. I wasn't going to let that happen. Not on my watch. You ain't going to do it, okay? Because everybody was like, oh, well, you should have seen what, who was I can't linebacker now that escapes me that was here before a couple of years. Oh, man.
Anthony Hitchens?
Hitchens. They talking about Hitchens. Oh, he led the league. Well, look at his leading tackler, his numbers compared to Nick Bolton's numbers. It's night and day. It's not even the same. It's not even the same. So y'all missed me with that one. But I'm going to talk about that. Nick Bolton, okay, still got to get in some game shape, game speed, and practice, all that. It's totally different. He's not there yet. I said probably maybe around the third game, Marcus, he'll get his legs. You can just tell even running after guys, he didn't have that juice. He didn't have it. Sorry. Okay? He could say he was and all that. He'll tell you, look, I was tired. Boss, I was tired out there running. You could tell he was tired. He was just trying to will himself to do certain things, right? And the Spags keeping him there because he knows he's going to help other guys out there, right? Okay? That's why Spags trusted him to do those. So, but I'm going to talk about a guy, okay? Drew Tranquil did a great job, okay? Came in, fitting in where he needed to be, come in, make tackles. Drew, that's the reason we got him here. That's why we signed him. But Leo Chanel, man, Leo Chanel is a star in the making. When I watched him last year and the type of maturity he displayed wasn't lost on me because I'm like, this guy is ready to play. He's NFL ready. Like, he's doing everything right. He knows where to be. He knows how to make plays. And he's a hell of an athlete. That game, Leo Chanel was everywhere where we need him to be. Everywhere. And I'm telling you, and this guy didn't talk about Warrington on the D-line, did a great job too. Shout out to him. He did a great job. But Chanel, without him, they scoring probably 2 or 3 more touchdowns. His fits, where he had to be, hitting linemen, getting out there, running down Lamar when he needed to, putting pressure on him, almost like the spy. That Joker balled out. And he came to play. If I'm giving anybody, Leo Chanel would have got an A+ just from me, from just him alone. Okay? He would have got an A grade from me. But since I'm comprising everybody as far as like the entire scope of the group, I gave the linebackers a B. That's what I gave them. I gave them a B. All right? So, question. Barbershop says, do you all think we missed the speed of Willie Gay? So, yes. Miss athleticism. One thing to me Willie would do is he would make up of some of the mistakes that he'd have. Sometimes he put himself out of position. And then he would recuperate because he had to, and his athletic ability was able to do that. But sometimes Willie would put himself out of position. I don't know if people would see that or not. But as a football player, and other linebackers will see, hey, the scheme of things, I think that's the reason when Drew came in, that's what they were looking for. They couldn't give a big payday because of things that wasn't necessarily fitting. But Willie, great athlete, great linebacker, we understand that. But last year, for me, was the best I've seen Willie play. That was the best. That was the best. But as far as like what finding him else sometimes, out of position. So the barbershop said he did. So I think you're agreeing with me. So
yeah, I will say we do miss him in the fact that he was great at guarding running backs, and I think that's going to be something that was exposed a little bit in preseason. It was exposed a little bit last game with Justice Hill kind of dominating us. But luckily, the guy you wanted to give a shout out to is Leo Chanel. Leo Chanel had a huge pass deflection, which honestly,
it was a touchdown.
Yeah, it was a touchdown. Hill was wide open.
Halfback angle. That's a running back angle, man. We seen it all preseason. We could cover not one time, right? And so what do they do? They say, we're going to run this halfback angle again at him against a linebacker. And we was beat. I think it was Drew Tranquil actually that was on him.
Yep.
It was Drew was on him, right? So, hey, Leo Chanel jumping up, batting that ball down, like you said, Marcus, saved us. Well done, Leo. Well done. Well done. Our guys are going to get better. They're going to get into shape. I know that. They're going to be fine. They're going to be all right, okay? One person I have no problems with whatsoever or worried about or concerned about is 32 Nick Bolton. You can take that off my plate, not worried about it. Only time I'm worried about is when he gets hurt or he's not there on the field. That's it. That's it. So.
Yeah, he'll get right. All those guys who missed training camp, they'll get right for sure.
Yeah. Now, DBs. DB grade. We always wondered who was going to be the one to ascend to become that guy. Okay. Who was going to be the one to set himself apart. Okay. As other DB. Trent McDuffie gets beat on the one. Zay Flower runs a route. I mean, that Zay Flowers run a great route. It's going to happen. I don't care how good you are. It's going to happen. Sometimes your best going to get beat. After that play, 22 hunkered down. 22 realized I'm not going against our guys every day in practice. This is what we have to do. He's seen speed before. He sees it in practice. So once he started doing that, trusting guys around him, he started hunkering down like we expected him. That's what 22 does. He's so balanced in what he, how he thinks and how he approaches things. He'll get it right. No problem whatsoever. So we worried about, what's the other guy going to do? What's the other guy going to do against Bateman and those guys? Well, one of those guys was Jalen Watson, who was leading the team in tackles with 11. Okay. I don't know if you want your leading tackler to be your corner. Okay. But he had to be. So saying that, he did a good job. It was one he kind of got beat. I think Lamar underthrew Zay Flowers on the sideline. Okay. We thank Lamar. Thank you for that. All right. And that's just getting your hands on, open your hips and just running. And so he'll get better. But he came out to me as being the starter, in my estimation. He did a great job on Thursday. He did a great job. Josh Williams did a good job. There's the one that you talk about, the cover 4, the one that they were talking about Bolton run at the heel. Why did Josh Williams bail so far on the cover 4, right? Especially if you don't have anybody area of the threat. Could he have came up to make that play? Sure, he could probably settle. And that's kind of like, when you're playing your zone in your assignment, that's the feel you have to have. You have to have that feel for that. Okay. But he did a decent job. I see Najee come in, play some. He did some good things out there as well. Safety. Our safeties. I always said Connor looks good like always. He's as solid as he possibly can be. Justin Reed did a decent job. Still a little out of shape. Look a step behind. We tried to blitz with him. He didn't quite get there. He will. Still working to get his speed up to where it needs to be. I believe he's right there on the same plane with Nick Bolton. He might be in better speed with Bolton coming actually by next week. I think he'll be where he probably needs to be. Game 3, he'll be right as right. He'll be right. Cook looked good. Just roaming that middle where he needs to be, man. Look good. And so all those things, those guys did a decent job in the secondary, man. Did a decent job in the secondary. I think those guys, for encompassing the entire group, I gave our secondary, which we might have some questions with, I gave them a B+. That's my grade. B+. So I think Marcus froze up on me. But yeah, that's where I am. B+ with the DBs and safeties. So
Sorry about that.
no, you're good. You're good.
Internet keeps going off and on. I don't know why.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now we're going to go to special teams.
Special teams guys. Okay. Our special teams looks solid. I'm glad McCole Hardman's back there returning kickoffs and punts for us. He's about the only one I trust out there. And so at this moment, when we talk about those things, I'm good with McCole being out there. Okay. Ariza, look, we know why we brought him in. I mean, he does a great job in punting, man. He booting the ball. Hang time, everything that you need. Buckner, is going to be solid, like Buckner always is. Okay. I think, as far as special teams wise, is you just don't want to give up anything. You don't want to give up no long returns. And you want to make sure that everything you do is clicking. That's what you want to be able to do. So with that being said, from our special teams, Creed making I love the straightaway. Just catch the ball and go get north to south with Creed on the returns. So with that, I give our guys on special teams. I think the only ones I gave was an A. Was a wide receiver. I'm gonna give these guys. Oh man, should I give them an A? I had a B+ for them. Yeah, a B+, but I might give these guys an A. They didn't mess up. I don't think they did anything that there was the reason had kicked it, and Joshua Williams,
Yep.
probably could have gotten that. That was a good kick. That was a great kick, actually, to be honest. And Josh Williams probably should have gotten it. So, I mean, he had enough time. Give these guys an A, Marcus. These guys deserve an A. Give them an A, man.
Yeah.
So
I agree. Yeah, that Josh Williams play, it wasn't even close. I guess, did he not realize? I guess sometimes the awareness on those kind of things is always easy for us to say at home on our couch, just seeing the view and say, oh man, how do you not know he stepped on the goal line there and he hits it back in? But I thought the special teams played great, and I think Ariza is going to be one of those guys. I know a lot of people were upset that Townsend left. He got paid a good chunk of change, but Ariza, man, he was the reason why he was one of the best punters in college football history.
Yeah,
the stuff that off the field happened, Buffalo got rid of him, but he was cleared from all that stuff. Come here and we got the punt guy, man. I think we're going to look back. The Ariza pickup and the Samaje Perine pickup are going to be two additions that we make this year. And we're going to look back in February and be like, yep, those two, man, we're real difference makers.
I agree with you. Let me see. Witchy Hall says, what did you? They didn't mess up, but they weren't really challenged much this game either. And that's a good thing. You don't want to rely on the special teams to make plays. That we'll use them when we need them. Okay, we'll use them when we need them. So, yeah. So that's why I gave him an A. Didn't really do anything messing up. Newt said Chiefs should have kept the Wells guy. He didn't want to stay here, Newt. He didn't want to stay. Hey, Newt, probably could have kept him on practice squad. He didn't want to stay here. Okay? We'd love to have LRZ, but
and actually, I did want to, since we're on this topic, Randy Connolly, who won the LRZ jersey, that'll be sent out to you today or tomorrow. And I'm still waiting on Nick B to come back to me with the Christian Okoye thing. If Nick B does not come back to us by Wednesday's show, Jubal Ray, who was the second person on that, he was very adamant that she won that thing. But Jubal Ray, who was second to that at the Christian Okoye jersey, send me your information. By Wednesday, we don't get Nick B. We're going to get Jewel Ray's going to be the consolation prize winner because Nick B didn't get back to me with his address. So,
okay, we only give him until this Wednesday.
Yeah, you're calling that.
You only get a week.
Your call, JD. What do you want to do about that?
I'll give him a little bit more time. We'll say this Wednesday. We'll give you one more. Hey, we'll put it out there. And then after that, man, maybe Friday. Fridays, because we're doing a show on Friday, correct?
Yes, sir.
Do our betting show. So
yes, sir.
He ain't heard from then. You ain't hit me on my DMs or nothing, man.
Yeah. Either your DMs or email. Yeah. So chiefconcerns@yahoo.com or JD on Twitter, which is at JASUSTD89 on Twitter. So those are two areas to reach us, and we're pretty readily available. So
absolutely, yeah. Newt says special teams are 1/3 of the game. Yes, it is, Newt. I know. I was a special teams coach. I was a coordinator, special teams coordinator. I understand it. And one thing that I did, I emphasized that we were just as important. It's 1/3 of the game that you can't do without us. So
all right. So before we get out of here, we're gonna have a few questions from people. We have three comments that I wanted you to answer, JD.
Okay.
So HVHY, seeing the conditioning issues in week 1, is a week 6 bye going to be a problem? And what do y'all think about early bye weeks in general? JD, what are your thoughts on all that?
Seeing the condition issues in week 1 is a week 6 bye going to be a problem? And what do y'all think about early bye weeks in general? I don't think it's going to be an issue at all. I actually I don't mind early buys. For the simple fact, if you happen to have something like a soft tissue, something dealing with early, I think it's good to kind of get it out of your system, because sometimes usually the soft tissue things happen at the very beginning of the season. So that week 6 bye is one that gives you a chance, to kind of recover from those things. And you've seen it all this past week, guys kind of getting hurt, soft tissue things and all. That gives a chance to be addressed. Okay. And then you get to, put guys where you want them. Okay. You can switch your pieces around that time. You know what you want to do. So I don't mind as long as it's not too early, but week 6, I'm fine with that. The thing is, these guys are on a roll. They're on a roll. They know who they want to be and what they want to do. So I think that's going to be fine. So no problem there.
It's a good point there, behind because the Chiefs played on this past Thursday. They have a mini bye for week 2.
Yeah. So this is the time them jokers are going to start getting in shape. This is when Nick Bowden and Justin Reed and Chris Jones after practice, all them jokers should get on the goal line and take off running and do some sprints. Okay.
Yeah, some gassers, baby.
Gassers. See the guys go out there like, hey, we got to get y'all in shape. All right.
Gassers then when the coach whistles, they'll give me an up down and they keep running.
Come on, push it. Let's go. Come on, Bowden, Nick Head. Come on, look. Hey, look like you was pulling the truck last time out there against Ravens. You better get out there and run. So throw a little vest on them. They're going to be all right. They're going to be good.
I got a question from Michael Donegan. My concern is Juju's presence going to slow down Wiley's progress. JD, what are your thoughts on that?
No, it's only going to help it. I think it's only going to help it, to be honest with you. The reason we brought Juju in is just as a support cast. And so Juju is going to impart as much knowledge and information to Xavier Worthy as possible. And so that's only going to help Worthy with his experience. So if anything, Juju's presence is going to propel Wiley's progress. That's the way I look at it. So he can help out a whole lot with Wiley, tell him how you work in the slot, the things you need to do. But everybody should be watching Juju how he works, how he's studying film. So I know Wiley, being in the tight end room is going to be a little bit different. But when he's out there on the field, you can learn really well what receivers do. That's why I used to love watching Eddie Kennison work. Him and Johnny Morton, those guys. Chris and all, man, when I was just watching dudes, what they would do out there in practice, you learn a lot. Eddie Kennison had a work ethic, catching the football, the way, the speed that he would go play. And if guys are not watching that, what are you doing? What are you doing? So I don't think that's going to be the case. We're going to be able to use packages with both of them. The good thing is we'll use them when we need to. We don't have to use Wiley on those particular things. But that's why I love this whole situation, that the options that the Chiefs have on offense, man. It's weapons everywhere. It's weapons everywhere. So
it was encouraging just to see him out there as much as he was out there. Yeah, utilization wise, not much first game, but he was out there a lot in a lot of packages. So that is encouraging to see for a fourth round guy.
Absolutely. No question about it. No question about it. So,
all right. So we got a final question here. We're going to say something, JD?
No, go ahead.
A final question here from Witchy Hall. Was Worthy one of the guys Patrick invited to his place in Texas during the offseason? Yes. After we drafted Worthy was there with all the guys.
Mm-hmm. Yes. No doubt about it. He's one of the guys. And there was that reason for it. Trying to get that rapport early. So.
And you can see that already.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So before I go, one other thing I want to do, I wanted to one of the guys, man, that follows on the show, but also too, man, Michael helped out when I was there at the Chiefs, helped out with some of the martial arts with us and some of the training. Michael Dunn. And just wanted to give out a shout out to Michael, man. His father passed away. He let me know. So I just wanted to say something to let you know, Michael, just how much that, I love you. And just let you know, man, that we're praying for you. His father actually was a firefighter up there in New York and was with the Twin Towers, actually ended up getting cancer. And so I know it's tough for him. Michael has been doing a tremendous job, was taking care of his father. And I told him, man, as a son, I'm sure a father or a parent couldn't be more prouder to have you right by his side. And so, Michael, my brother, like I said before, you got our prayers. We lift you up here on the show. But I wanted to say that just to recognize your father for his service that he did as a firefighter up there in New York. And our hat goes off to him, just celebrating his life. And we appreciate it so much for everything that he's done. And so, let you know, brother, we love you here. We love you. And so anything you need, we're here for you. We're here for you. So other than that, man, we just wanted to make sure I didn't want to miss that. I didn't want to miss that at all. So
yeah. No, I don't know your father, Michael. I don't know you, but your father, along with many other men at the Twin Towers that day, are all heroes, and your dad will always be remembered as a hero in this country.
Amen. That's right. That's right. And man, James Earl Jones passed. Oh man.
Yeah.
Man. So
a legend.
A legend.
True legend.
Yeah. Yeah. James Earl Jones.
But if you watch CNN though, I think I read something online. I don't know how true it is, but they said they're still going to keep going with this CNN in James Earl Jones's voice.
Sure, I'm sure he would want it that way. Voice of sultry encouragement. That's what he had. It just warms you just to hear the things how he spoke. So it's a shame. So, their family, but also to, like I said, Michael Dennon, and to you, my brother, and your family out here, man, giving the prayers up. You got a lot of it. You see the prayers out here from the Chief Concerns family. And I appreciate all of you all, giving that for Michael and just giving prayers. So, heart goes out to you, brother. So,
all right, guys. Well, that does it for us on the first week. Great report show. Monday morning tight end on your Monday evening. We're happy everybody got to spend some Monday Night Football time with us. We'll bounce between those and then Monday night games. It's halftime right now. But we appreciate you guys. We'll be back on here Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Central Standard Time. Or Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time. Yeah. So good to see everybody. I'm the Brown, Gary Holland, Lacey Snake, Timmy 123, About Time, Wendy, Newt Rock. Let me see who we got. About Time, Richie Hall, Andrea Chenault, Cindy Jennings, The Barbershop, Nana Sherry. Let me see who else we have on here. We had Charles Driver. I think I already said I'm the Brown. Everybody that stuck with us, coming out here, talking and speaking. Gary Holland. Let me see. Daniel Akers. We appreciate each and every one. Zulu. Holly Witchell, I think I already said you, but I always good saying your name again. So, yeah, Kathy Welch. So everybody that came out, hey, appreciate every one of you. Thank you so much. Okay, high value, high yield. You remember. Okay, y'all take care. Be careful out there. Godspeed. God bless. We will see you on Wednesday. And I think we talked about doing some little things. So we got like somewhat of a little surprise, right, Marcus? On Wednesday. So it'll be good. It'll be good. So Dom Jones, everybody else, Rama Biff, everybody. Good seeing you, Justin Garcia, Merectos, Sweetie, Michael Donegan. That was for my sweetie, Michael, but you got one too. Cordell Robinson, all of y'all. Y'all take care. Good seeing y'all. Y'all go watch some Monday Night Football. Y'all have a great time. Marcus, my brother, I love you.
Thank you, brother.
We'll talk. We'll see each other soon. Y'all take care. We'll holler at y'all.
Good night, everybody. See you Wednesday. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.